Broncos are asked to do, comes in and finishes off Greg Wesley so that Quentin Griffith can get in the end zone.
There's a resounding sound throughout the stadium saying, Clinton who?
I doubt it.
Not yet.
No, not yet. You're right, not yet. But I'll tell you what, you know what? This guy, Quentin Griffin, is so shy. Folks, I'm telling you, it was hard to get him to talk. He just, we say, you know, what do you do? How do you cope with all this? He says, I practice, and then I go home.
It was hard to get him to look at you.
Oh, I know.
He was looking down the whole time.
It was so refreshing to see someone so humble and so appreciative of the opportunity that he has to play.
Well, one of you guys asked him what he did with his free time. He said, I don't do anything. I go home. That's a good kick. Micah Nora against the wind, 5 yards deep into the end zone. Let's go down to Susie Cover for more on Quentin Griffin.
Well, Pat, he is anxious to show that, like the backs who have found success before him, he fits right in. 6 seasons, 4 different 1,000-yard backs. The biggest question about Griffin is durability. He is out to prove that's not an issue. Broncos strength coach Rich Tootin believes that his low center of gravity makes him super durable, very balanced. He slides, he bounces away from tackles like Emmitt Smith. He's powerful. He's also a workout freak. If anything, you've got to slow the kid down.
Trent Green tries Priest Holmes, and there's nothing there. The Denver defense with 7 changes is tougher.
Pat, I'm going to tell you, this Denver defense, this is the 7th play, but in the last 6 plays, Kansas City is minus 11 yards in the last 6 plays. They got 1 yard on that play. So in 7 plays, they're still minus 10.
Now, a lot of it had to do with that sack that Trent Green took that really changed the momentum in this football game.
It sure did. Trent Green's got to throw it. Look out. Chased again. He got away from 2 or 3 people. The pass on the sideline. I can't tell yet, but if it's complete or not. No, it's incomplete. Eddie Kennison was sliding.
Reggie Hayward, number 98. You're going to see him coming in on the right side again. Play action fake. Goes right around the outside. John Wilborn. Now remember, John Tate, the right tackle, is in Chicago with the Bears now, and he's the guy that has been replaced on that right side
by John Wilborn, who was a guard in Philadelphia. Draw play, not nearly enough for a first, smelled out by Al Wilson, the middle linebacker.
Now we got 7:45 left in this half, and if Denver manages to put some more points up, Kansas City's going to have to throw the ball around. That means that you take Priest Holmes out of the game a lot, which is not good for the Chiefs.
Dick Vermeil said, we got to get the ball to Priest Holmes as often as we can. And you're so right, Joe. Take it down, another touchdown. This is a heck of a kick. Rod Smith chopped it, had it, dropped it. I think he got it back. 45-yard punt, and it was higher than the stadium. Quentin Griffin just sprinted 25 yards for that touchdown. He's not afraid of anybody.
إنه امتحان للسرعة، قدرة التحمل، وروح المنافسة القوية عند الفرسان. إحدى أعرق وأنبل الرياضات. سباق الخيول يبث حاليا على أوربت.
The Denver Broncos offense has had 3 drives, all more than 50 yards, and every time they scored. People like that, gentlemen, will be happy a long time. Runner back to throw, lofts it high.
You know, Pat, I talked about Quentin Griffin in the opening. It doesn't matter who's the running back is. Well, take a look at this guy. But I said he could do it all. Watch this move right here. He's got great feet, great anticipation. And you talk about a guy that reads what's in front of him. He sees it all. And again, at Oklahoma, the other one I gave it, he carried the ball over 700 times.
You think of the backs he followed at Oklahoma. Now he's in the same place here in Denver. Great running backs.
Steve Owen. Billy Sims. Smith with the reception, fumbled ball and went out of bounds. He's the last in possession. So they'll maintain possession. Sean Barber chased him out of bounds. Priest Holmes on the left, excuse me.
Quentin Griffin, you see 10 rushes, 7 rushes, 45 yards. Priest Holmes, 52. Now, Quentin Griffins could go up simply because of the way the score is going in this game. The Denver Broncos, if they can put another score up, they can afford to start to run the ball, and Priest Holmes wouldn't be as big a factor for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to have to start throwing it around the place.
Well, Priest Holmes won't be out of there because he was their leading receiver a year ago.
Yeah, they're going to have to go down the field a little bit more, Paulie.
I think so.
3rd and 1 at the 39. Reverse Rod Smith.
Wow, what a job by Gunther Cunningham's defense. Scott Fujita was not fooled at all.
Not a bit.
They'd have been better off giving the ball.
It was Eric Hicks. I'm going to tell you, I hate this play. I'm telling you now, I don't like this play. I've never liked the reverse anywhere in the field.
So do the Broncos.
I just don't.
Now they do.
I mean, you got 3rd and about a yard, and now you got 4th and 5. I don't understand it.
Every time you try to trick them instead of hit them, something goes wrong. Micah Noor. Here is Dante Hall. Set up on the sideline. Back outside the 40, 46-yard punt, 25-yard return. Donnie Spragan made the stop.
You talk about a little guy, Pat, with no fear, like Quentin Griffin. Look at this guy. Watch this. I mean, to make the catch, sees 2 guys coming out. Now you stop and turn and go. But I'll tell you one thing he does get, and that's a lot of people throwing their bodies around downfield. He does get a lot of blocking.
Well, you do what he's done, you have to get a lot of blocking. Yeah. And you feel like as a blocker, if you got a guy like that, you want to block for him. Trent Green is back. Throwing. No. Incomplete. Johnny Morton was the intended target.
And DJ Williams decided he wanted to make Johnny Morton just about 2 inches shorter.
Don't miss the 2004 World Series of Poker final night, where one player will walk away with $5 million. 2004 World Series of Poker, Tuesday at 9 Eastern, only on ESPN. Comes a backdoor screen. Dante Hall.
You know what that is? That's just the ability of a punt returner moving around in traffic. There are very few people that could be able to make this kind of play. Watch what he does. You've got basically the entire Bronco defense. Here comes Lynch. He doesn't stand a chance. Now Al Wilson, he doesn't stand a chance. Now Kenoy Kennedy, he gets turned around. He's not sure where he is. All he did was work his way up and get a first down.
Mostly on his own. Priest Holmes almost broke it. Champ Bailey tripped him up. Let's go down for more on Dante Hall to Susie Colbert.
Well, he could be the busiest guy in the NFL. He's responsible for 7 different positions. We know about the Pro Bowl talent, returning punts and kicks. Tonight, he started at wide receiver. He's got snaps at the slot, at X, at H-back. He's even in the backfield and playing some fullback. He's responsible for about 300 plays a week.
Holmes gets the carry, cuts it back, and doesn't get much, if any.
You know, this is one of the plays that the Kansas City Chiefs love to run. They stretch the field with this guy, and they pull almost everybody when they do that. And this time, the Denver Broncos got to the outside. Watch this offensive line of Kansas City. See them all slide left? And you got the center, you got guards pulling out. But what happens was that he cuts back, Priest Holmes does, and the Denver Broncos were sitting there waiting on him.
Third. They need 4 for a first. They're coming after Trent Green. Trent shook away from 2 of them. Another chasing, and the pass is intercepted by Champ Bailey. After all that, Champ Bailey leaped for the interception.
Wait till you see Champ Bailey. I'm telling you, he was in the middle of the field at one time. Then he ends up on the right-hand side. I mean, it is unbelievable to watch what he does. And all he's doing, watch, here's Champ Bailey and moving. Now, he goes back to the other side. He sees Kennison. He's just watching Green. He's watching Green. Now watch him make the play on the ball.
See, Trent Green doesn't believe that Champ Bailey can get up that high to make the interception. He just doesn't believe that he can get up there.
You know, the other thing that just looked like Trent Green could have picked this thing up on his own by running.
He ran enough trying to get in the open field.
What do you think he was tired?
Trying.
There's a penalty against Denver.
Just so you know, Trent Green last year only ran 26 times, so he's not going to be inclined to take off.
Too much celebration. Taunting. And you don't want to taunt.
You don't
even
want to
if
celebrate.
you are Champ Bailey. He has reason, I suppose. Plummer back to throw it. Taken down. Good rush up the middle by Junior Siabi.
We talked about the 15-yard celebration penalty. There it is. You cannot have a group celebrate. I mean, you'd think that Mike Shanahan's going to be just so mad, and should be, at those guys. You make a great play, and then all of a sudden you kick yourself back inside the 10. I mean, you do a great job on defense, and then you shoot yourself in the foot by doing something that's stupid.
You got to know it's wrong.
It is wrong.
You got to know that. They've been told by the officials in training camp and by the coaches, you don't do that. Champ Bailey, we told you before, is wired for sound. Here's the interception.
Well, you know, these guys really are having fun. I mean, winning and losing.
Hey, I'll ask you the question. Go ahead, win or lose. Here's the, Clinton Portis for Champ Bailey. It's like both of these guys have decided, you know what, I'm going to justify to the team that made the deal for me that the trade was a good deal. Champ's done everything you can for the Denver Broncos tonight, and we saw Clinton do everything he could for the Redskins today.
You know, the amazing part about it, we can all talk about it, discuss it. Everybody that's in the media can do that, except one thing. Mike Shanahan never asked you or me or Pat or anyone else if he should make that trade.
I'm tickled that both Pro Bowl players are playing like Pro Bowl players.
Well, time will tell whether it was great or not, whether it was good or not.
Well, today it's good for both of them.
Today it's good for both. And that's as it should be. Plummer. Poutsier. Not enough for a first. Timeout Kansas City. That means they have none left for the rest of the half. 2:44 left to play. Let's again go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, guys, this is everything you would want from the best battle in the AFC West. Priest Holmes sending this highlight to his dad, who's with the troops in Iraq, picking up where he left off last year. Jake Plummer says they've got plenty of firepower. Hits Quentin Griffin, and then Griffin can do it on the ground as well. 2 touchdowns on the night, and this is why they brought in Champ Bailey. His first interception as a Bronco, and oh, by the way, he's played some offense too.
You know what I'll tell you, I like this. I like this timeout that Kansas City took. Even though, you know, they go down to 2 minutes, they're going to get some time to run a couple of plays before the 2 minute. They're going to get a timeout there. But Denver could have just wasted 40-some seconds off this clock.
Dante Hall lets it bounce, and out of bounds it goes. Micah Noor with a 63-yard punt out of bounds. That's more than you can ask for.
You know, it's a 63-yard punt, but the ball went 80 yards. He kicked it right from the goal line, and the Chiefs are taking over on their own 20. What a weapon. What a weapon a great punter is. A great kicking game is.
And I guess win doesn't matter, does it?
I guess not. You eliminate Dante Hall when that happens.
You guys, you know, you guys keep talking about the win. We have fans up here. That's the wind that you feel. There's no wind down there on the field.
Like electric fans?
Yeah, we got electric fans up here.
We don't have people up here. Trent Green fires outside. Not much doing. Pass complete to Eddie Kennison.
Always my favorite time in a ball game, getting inside 2 minutes. I love to see how a quarterback and a football team operates. How efficiently can they run plays? How quickly can they get plays off?
Green back to throw it. Pass complete. That's to Dante Hall. Wrestled to the ground by Kelly Herndon. We're going to get the 2-minute warning. 17-7. Kansas City took the early lead, but the Broncos have come roaring back.
الدوري الهولندي هو الموطن، والكرة الشاملة هي المدرسة. هم ابتدعوها وأوربت تنقلها لكم. التغطية الكاملة للكرة الشاملة. الدوري الهولندي يبث حاليا حصريا على الرياضيات.
Coming up at the half, it's the Toyota Halftime Show with Chris Berman. Fastest 3 minutes, Boomers Halftime Heroes, Major League Baseball Playoff Update coming up on the Toyota Halftime Show. Get ready, Chris. Third down. Priest Holmes. Got enough for the first. A minute 52 left in the first half, and the clock's ticking down.
Here in these next couple plays, Trent Green's going to have to force the ball down the field. They're going to have to get the ball down the field to somebody.
Up the middle. Oh, pass was bad.
Lynch.
A flag down.
Well, let me tell you, first of all, Champ Bailey makes the play on the ball, which is really great.
Champ does get a piece of the ball, but boy, did John Lynch get a piece of Dante Hall.
Yeah, but he hit him in the head, and that's bad. And I know John Lynch is tough, but I tell you, they're talking this thing over. Does he hit him in the head?
Let's have a look.
Well, you got a flag back here in the backfield also. Here's the tip by Champ Bailey. Now here's the shot.
He doesn't.
Number 77 on the offense, hands to the face, personal fall, hit on a defenseless receiver, number 47 of the defense, penalties offset, replay first down.
Remember, the way they define a receiver in a defenseless position is while the ball is gone, it's been knocked away. If he's taking a few steps there. Now, he's taking a few steps. John Lynch does not hit him in the head. He lowers his helmet and hits him right square between the 8 and the 2. Now, he may have gotten a penalty for that, but Dante's not going to forget that when he goes over the middle the next time.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, I think that's a bad call because Dante had his hand on the ball.
I don't. I think you do it to protect the receivers. I like the call.
Trent Green, a flag on the play. I think the Kansas City Chiefs were moving, yes.
76 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
John Wilburn again. He's just having a tough time. He's the new guy.
See if we can hear that hit by John Lynch.
You can't hear it, but I'll guarantee you the little guy felt it.
Dante Hall heard it. I guarantee you that.
John Lynch looks to me like he can still play. The Tampa Bay Bucks didn't think so, but I sure do.
Well, he's been hurt. Now he says he's healthy. Oh, pass incomplete, and was he open?
You're tired. That's Johnny Morton. I'm going to tell you what, if he catches this ball, he's gone. He's behind the defense.
Kelly Herndon deflected it, got a hand up.
Boy, if Kelly Herndon doesn't just touch this ball right there, Morton, that ball is in Morton's hands, and he's gone.
That's one of those times when you make a mistake in the secondary, and just a flick of a pinky saves you.
2nd and 15. Pass, I believe, is caught by Morton.
That's sweet.
You like perfect passes?
Oh, man, I love to see somebody throw it. And everybody, all through training camp, all through the mini camps, all I heard from Kansas City people was how great Trent Green threw the ball. Johnny Morton just beat Willie Middlebrooks just over the top. Now, Johnny Morton missed most of camp with an Achilles problem, and they need him bad.
That was the perfect throw. Here's Trent Green back to throw again. Eddie Kennison over the middle, and that'll move the sticks again. 17-yard pickup that time.
Let me tell you something. If you're gonna come after Trent Green, you can't do it with 4 guys up front, because this offensive line is really too good.
Down to about 1:05 left to go before the half. Green's got the snap and got things underway. Priest Holmes taken down, a great play.
Lenny Walls, what a nice
Lenny
job.
Walls, terrific.
What a nice job by that big corner. Lenny Walls, biggest corner in football, 6'4". Playing outside. Priest could not get out of bounds. This is a screen. They figure to get Priest out one-on-one, but Lenny Walls comes up to the outside, makes a terrific play.
Got a leg and hung on. Green gets it up to Kennison. Not enough for a first, but a 13-yard pickup just shy of the 35.
I'll tell you, he's got to get it. He's got to ground the ball right now and then try and pick something up on 4th down.
Down to 15 seconds. Going to try to run another play. Going deep. Pass was deflected. A flag on the play. Willie Middlebrooks was the defender. Johnny Morton, the intended receiver. Let's see what went wrong.
Illegal use of hands. Number 76 on the offense. Hands to the face. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
John Wilburn has had a terrible, terrible night. I mean, he's the new guy on the block. But watch this. That is hands to the face. You just can't do it. Ray Lee Johnson is the guy coming not only hands to his face, how about taking a helmet?
Ripped the helmet off. Moves him back to just outside the 45.
See, and you know, this is exhausting the wide receivers of the Kansas City Chiefs. Johnny Morton didn't have a whole lot of training camp. Eddie Kennison didn't have a whole lot of training camp. They've been running up and down here for the last 2 minutes.
Trent Green thought Eddie Kennison was going to turn it up, and he turned it out.
I'll tell you, Trevor Price is on the ground. Of course, he hasn't missed a play, and they moved Trevor Price, who was a defensive end. They moved him inside. Number 93 is Trevor Price, and he's on the top side. He's just pushed to the outside. I don't know. and he looked like he fell on his knee.
Or it just gave way.
He was up against Will Shields. Of course, he talked about Will Shields being the best guy that he plays against. He's amazingly strong for a guy that's only 6'3".
Will Shields, you mean?
Yep.
Only?
Well, that's what Trevor said, only. I mean, I was sort of surprised when he said only 6'3", too.
Yeah, he's only been to the Pro Bowl, what did you say, Pat, 9 straight years?
Yeah, something like that.
Only 9 times in a row. Trevor Price decided to redo his body this year. Weighs the same, but has become more muscular and decided he was going to enjoy football, too. When he signed the big contract, all that money went into his pocket, and it went to his head. And he said, I've got to go out and figure out a way. I've got to now go out and earn that money, and it became a job. Finally, this year, he's decided it's not a job anymore. He wants to have fun.
Paul, why don't we do that?
Yeah.
Redo our bodies.
And how would you like me to do that?
I don't know. We'll do it together. Yeah, Hail Mary.
This ball is cut. They're going to get another play because this is offsides against the defense. The Denver Broncos are offside. They let the play go, and the Kansas City Chiefs will get one more play, even though the clock is at 0.
99 defense. That's a 5-yard penalty.
They get an untimed down.
An untimed down.
Thank you.
Way to go, Pat. The old untimed down trick.
Yeah.
And they're going to try a field goal.
I can't believe this. Well, the ball goes a long way. Lawrence Tynes will try from 58 yards out.
This will be 63.
Well, this is certainly something you would not have been able to do with Morton Anderson if he was your kicker.
You're right. This is 63 yards. Didn't get there.
The Kansas City Chiefs have to go in and regroup and figure out a way to be more productive on offense and not keep shooting themselves in the foot.
You know, I don't think they ever marked off the 5-yard penalty. They penalized the poor guy. Let's go down to Susie right now.
Mike, how would you describe the difference in your defense with John Lynch and Champ Bailey?
Well, they're both playing great. We're going against an excellent football team that moves the ball extremely well. So we got to come back in the second half and play with the same intensity we have in the first.
Thanks, Coach.
Pat, you know, Trent Green went in up to the official and said, wait a minute, you didn't mark off the 5-yard penalty.
Exactly right.
You're getting,
Please come
you got
back
to bring
on
them
the
all
field.
back.
They're going to bring him back.
They're going to bring him back. They're going to have to take the band off now, too.
Well, they can kick around the band. Just move over to the right, leave the band alone.
Well, you know what? You could leave the band there and just move it to the right a little. You're right,
They're
Paul.
moving their chariot already.
All right, get the band out.
Now what you have to do is now you have to go into the locker room.
This is an official's error. The ball was not penalized the 5
you're
yards.
right.
We are going to replay that now.
See, Pat, you were right the first time, the 58-yard field goal.
Right.
The
It was
only
at the 45 before.
The only guys that need to come out now are the guys that are on the rush team. Everybody else for the Denver Broncos can really stay in the locker room. And the same thing applies to the Kansas City Chiefs. You don't need the entire team standing out there on the sidelines for this.
There's nobody out here for Denver. Nobody. Their team is in the locker room. Here they come. Way to go, guys. Oh.
And I like the fact that Trent Green went out and said, wait a second. You didn't do this for us.
I guarantee you somebody upstairs had to see it.
The drummer's going to get whiplash. They're moving the band back off.
This is bizarre.
Take you back in time just a minute. Ray Lee Johnson jumped off sides when there was 3 seconds to go on the clock. If it's a defensive penalty at the end of the half, there is an untimed play that is allowed. And the Chiefs lined up to kick the field goal, but the officials never marked off the 5-yard penalty against the Denver Broncos. There's number 99. Ball's on the 46-yard line, give or take a half an inch. All right, he comes off. Trent Green will then run around and throw the ball away. Now there should be an attempt from about the 41.5-yard line as the line of scrimmage. Nope. Now they went too far.
Now they did go too far.
Now they're 5 yards.
I believe it's a 10-yard penalty now.
It's unbelievable.
So now how long is the field goal going to be?
Well, wait, when they mark the ball, Pat.
Okay. It's going to be 54 yards.
All right, here it is. I just want to show you. That's the ball should be on the 40-yard line approximately. Now what Mike Shanahan is yelling, because he has a picture. Now they're going to show the picture of Bernie Kukar. And I don't know whether whether they might want to show these officials some crayons to go along with the picture.
Okay.
But Mike can't believe where they're marking it.
Mike's out there on the field and says,
with good reason.
Let me mark it. I'll mark it for you.
Now Bernie Kukar is going to talk to somebody who's even more official than Mike Shanahan.
If they put it back where it should be, it would be a 58-yard field goal.
Pat, where do you think he's going to kick it from about?
About 58.
Well, if it's on the 41, it'll be 59.
Yeah, 59. That would break a Kansas City record if he makes it. Record held by Nick Lowry.
All we need is a fake field goal and a defensive penalty to prolong it one more time.
Yeah.
I think Trent Green is probably the only one that saw this. Well, went to the official.
Yeah, but Mike Shanahan sure saw the other one. Now, the ball is at the 46-yard line, right here. Right there. Okay, oh, that's Lynch. I'm sorry. Here. Right there is where the ball is. Now, that is where it should be spotted. Okay?
They'll get it right. They're going to get it right.
They will. And a week from now. See, Bernie, I believe, has to get the official word. He can't take Mike Shanahan's word for it. Although I think he took Trent Green's word for it, that he never mark it off.
I mean, all they have to do is look at our replay and realize that the ball has to go down to the 41-yard line or the 40.5-yard line.
All you need to do is call the replay booth upstairs, which I believe he is doing now, to get the exact spot. All right, Bernie, way to go. Congratulations, guys.
Well, that last 3 seconds of the first half has now turned into 10 minutes.
It's unbelievable.
And the entire teams have come out on the field.
Yeah, I know that.
Including a very upset Mike Shanahan.
Well, the ball that he kicked from 5 yards further back would not have made it anyway. Now he's 5 yards closer. Who knows? Officially 58 yards. And that would tie the Kansas City record held by Nick Lowry. I still don't think he can get it there.
Look out.
Hey, it may be good.
He got it there. It was just wide.
Just wide. That's right. Our score here at Invesco Field at Mile High is Broncos 17, Chiefs 7. Now let's join Chris Berman for the Toyota halftime show.
Wow, was that interesting. We did the interview, then we went back to the end of the first half. It was almost Stanford Cal, right, with the real band on the field, with the cart and everything else. Okay, they'll get things sorted out. The Chiefs look great coming out of the gates, but it's been all Denver since, and we'll get back to Denver in just a moment. Wow, week one, officially, the first Sunday of the season, always like Christmas. You're so excited, but you know what? You realize that the more things change, the more they remain the same. And in that, I mean, let's go to the nation's capital where Joe Gibbs, Hall of Fame coach, 3 Super Bowl rings, is back. And he's got a new running back in Clinton Portis against Tampa Bay. He did go all the way, 64 yards, the fan signaling touchdown. Matt Bowen, some defense, Brad Johnson sacked, 16-10, the Skins over the Bucs. Welcome back, Joe. Welcome to Philadelphia. Terrell Owens, look at Donovan McNabb, tightrope the sideline, touchdown to T.O. They hooked up 3 times for pay dirt as the Eagles won their first opener since 2000. They beat the Giants 31-17. Cowboys-Vikings. Vinny Testaverde threw 50 times, over 350 yards. Terry Glenn, touchdown. It's a game at half, 14-10 Minnesota. But Dante Culpepper threw 5 TDs, 3 to Randy Moss, and 35-17. The Vikings win at home impressively. Chad Pennington for the Jets. Carson Palmer for Cincinnati put on a show. Pennington's first opening day start, Jonathan Carter bombed. Jets lead the Bengals 14-7. Curtis, my favorite Mott. The 7th best opening day running attack ever by a back. 196 yards, the Jets win 31-24. Jeff Garcia, quarterbacking in Cleveland, shocked the Baltimore Ravens. Quincy Morgan, touchdown. The Browns over Baltimore 20-3. And don't the people in Cleveland love that? Tim Rattay, knocked out of the game, comes back for San Francisco. Touchdown, Eric Johnson from Yale. But the 2-point tying conversion knocked down. Atlanta, Jim Mora Jr. wins in his first game as head coach, 21-19 in San Francisco. Meanwhile, Sean Alexander, as the Seahawks, a team troubled on the road, looked impressive in New Orleans. Scored once. Scored twice. Sean Alexander scored 3 times for the Seattle Seahawks as they beat the Saints 21-7. But we'll know more on Monday. Knee sprain, had to leave the game on this turf injury. Seahawks really needed him, but they win their opener on the road. Rams struggled against the Cardinals, but Mark Folger to Isaac Bruce. 2-point conversion, good. Rams beat Arizona 17-10. Raiders-Steelers. Big comeback for the Raiders after Pittsburgh led 14-0. Rich Gannon, Elvis Whitted. They outwitted the Steelers to tie it at 21, but Jeff Reed, good. 42 yards. Pittsburgh wins 24-21 over their Raiders. Drew Brees, impressive start back in his home state for San Diego. Eric Parker, the 4th quarter touchdown. Chargers win in Houston 27-20. On the last play of the game, Byron Leftwich for Jacksonville. To Ernest Wilford, the rookie, touchdown, he's in. Jags win at the Bills 13-10. The Detroit Lions get a blocked field goal from Sean Rogers. Bracey Walker, Bracey Walker, picks it up, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. It's 92 yards. If you're going to stop a 24-game losing streak on the road, dating back to 2000, you need plays like this. And then, at the end of the game, it's Bracey Walker with the interception of the Bears' Rex Grossman. The Detroit Nightmare is over. Mooch and company win 20-16.
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Get the feeling.
Well, we'll have our halftime heroes. One of them, hello, in the city of brotherly love, the T.O., and one away from a magical number again for Barry Bonds. Baseball coming up.
إنه امتحان للسرعة، قدرة التحمل، وروح المنافسة القوية عند الفرسان. إحدى أعرق وأنبل الرياضات، سباق الخيول، يبث حاليا على أوربت.
Welcome back to the Toyota Halftime Show with your host, Chris Berman.
Well, you football fans get a chance to vote for Sunday Stud. You can log on to espn.com and right up to the end of the game, we announce it on SportsCenter who you thought the top performer was. Day 1 in the 4th quarter, we'll announce it. We'll do it during our game. And we appreciate your participation as, again, opening Sunday of the National Football League, and there were heroes abound. But you know what? So much for Hats, his 10th year. Hey, he's 31 years of age. He remains in New York. Their favorite Martin. Curtis Martin, running back, New York Jets, had the old zip, and the Jets have an improved line, better speed on defense. But for Curtis Martin, in this really super game against the Bengals, here it's a 31-yard run. Curtis Martin, 29 carries, 196 yards, the 7th best rushing effort ever on opening day. He could join Barry Sanders if he gets 1,000 yards. It'll be 10 straight seasons. How about Jerome Bettis, the oddest line ever? 5 carries, 1 yard for 3 touchdowns, 7 inches a carry. But Bettis in the end zone 3 times as Pittsburgh won. Drew Brees, much maligned, drafted Phillip Rivers to the Chargers to replace him at QB. Not so fast. Brees outstanding as the Chargers win on opening day in Houston. And Terrell Owens,
Not once, not twice, but 3 times to hook up with Donovan McNabb. 8 catches on the day as the Eagles humble the New York Football Giants. Welcome back, Joe Gibbs. 12 years off, nothing changed. 141 wins for the master. Our score, the Broncos spotted the Chiefs an early touchdown. They lead Kansas City 17-7 at the half, back with baseball as halftime continues.
إنه امتحان للسرعة، قدرة التحمل، وروح المنافسة القوية عند الفرسان. إحدى أعرق وأنبل الرياضات، سباق الخيول، يبث حاليا على أوربت.
This halftime show is presented by Toyota. Get the feeling.
Well, we talked about Sunday Stud. How about 7-card Stud? The World Series of Poker on Tuesday night at 9 Eastern, 6 on the West Coast. That'll be 3 in Hawaii. Baseball. And I don't care what time zone you're in, Barry Bonds is in a zone all his own. In the 9th inning at Arizona, Bonds sends it back for home run number 41, home run number 699. He's 15 shy of the Babe. And the Giants, with Bonds going deep behind Jason Schmidt's complete game 4-hitter, beat Arizona 5-2. Meanwhile, the Cubs at home were beaten by the Marlins 11-1 behind A.J. Burnett. The Cubs all of a sudden have lost 7 of 10. The Astros tonight got back to their winning ways, a pinch at RBI double in the 10th by Jason Lane, and they beat the Pirates. So the Giants now show the way in the wild card race, 1 over the Cubs and the Stros, the Marlins in it, the Pods, even the Phillies. Hope they've inched back in it. Over in the American League, the red-hot Red Sox finally were human. They split their 4-game series in Seattle. Raul Ibanez 2-run homer off Derek Lowe. Ichiro, what about him? Ichiro had 2 hits in this game for the Mariners, and that'll give him 231. The record, George Slisler, 257. Red Sox lose at Seattle 2-0. Only their 3rd loss in 19. Meanwhile, the Yanks tied in Baltimore in the 9th at 7 until Gary Sheffield of Dreams sent it back, gone. 8-7 Yankees. Then, next back, did I say back? I meant back-to-back. Boom! Hideki Matsui sends it to dead center. Orioles set a record using 10 pitchers, but they lose 9-7. Yanks lead the Sox by 3.5 in the AL East. Meanwhile, the AL West, Oakland leads Anaheim only by 1.5 games. The Rangers still in it. Boston, Anaheim won today, beating the White Sox. The Red Sox lead in the wild card race by 5. Tennis. Roger Federer won in Australia, won at Wimbledon. He is the king of men's tennis. He humbles Leighton Hewitt 2 love sets as he wins the U.S. Open men's finals in Flushing Meadow. And Vijay Singh wins on the links once again in a playoff of the Canadian Open against Mike Weir. Quentin Griffin, after Denver spotted Kansas City as 7-0 lead, Quentin Griffin helped them, the Broncos, get a 17-7 lead. We'll go back to Denver. Enjoy the second half.
المركز الرياضي يضعك في الصفوف الأمامية وينقلك إلى قلب الحدث. تغطية مباشرة وتحليل لأهم البطولات العربية والعالمية مع نخبة من ألمع الخبراء والصحفيين الرياضيين. المركز الرياضي مع ياسر علي ديب من الاثنين إلى الجمعة مباشرة على الرياضية.
In Vesco Field at Mile High, the homestanding Broncos 17, the Chiefs 7. That high-powered offense from Kansas City hasn't been able to get rolling. Denver's done a whale of a job on defense. They brought in the new people for the defensive unit, as many as 7, and it's been working for them. Good coverage by Kansas City and a strong return. Pat Summerall here with Paul McGuire and Joe Theismann. And Joe, what about Kansas City? They haven't been able to get anything going offensively, yet they're supposed to be so high-powered.
Well, you got the highest scoring offense in football, and you've got Tony Gonzalez, their second leading receiver with 71 catches last year with no catches tonight. Priest Holmes, their leading receiver with 74 catches, has 2 for -2 yards. I think Denver's just taken away the 2 guys that Trent Green likes to get the football to. Their wide receivers are going to have to step up and make some kind of plays for him.
And on the other hand, you know, Pat, I really like what Kansas City on defense has done. They are playing downhill. They're going. The one thing they talked about, when we talked to Eric Hicks, he said we have to keep. Excuse me, I'll wait when this is done.
Jake Plummer back to throw it. Intercepted by one of the up men for Kansas City. The linebacker, Monty Beisel.
That's a middle linebacker. Jake almost knocked him down. He hit him right in the mouth with the ball.
And he's just learning how to play linebacker. He was a defensive end just 2 years ago.
Monty Beisel, I mean, he was forced to play this position. Just watch him in the middle. He's actually cut down in the middle and gets back up and makes the play. This is a great defensive play. Beisel was on the ground, back up, tips the ball in the air, and then makes the catch.
Well, Gunther Cunningham has just got to be tickled with what his defense just did.
Trent Green, a throw back across the field, incomplete. That's good defense. Kelly Herndon. Gonzalez, who by his own admission is one of the best, if not the best tight end, hasn't caught a pass.
Kelly Herndon just does a real nice job of staying home in the defense. Lets his linebackers and defensive line handle the run. Doesn't go chasing. Makes the play.
2nd and 10. Priest Holmes tries to shake away from one of the tacklers, but Donnie Spragan comes up.
Well, you know, you're talking about Tony Gonzalez, Pat, and the fact that he hasn't caught a pass. Just take a look at the job that these guys are doing on him. Anytime that now he's going to break free, but once he does, that's a defensive end that's covering him on that play. But once he does, there is at least one guy picking him up. He never seems to get free into the secondary. And that's the one thing that they're looking for him to do, and he's not been able to do that.
Kennison in motion. Gonzalez, flag on the play. I was about to say one of the refreshing things about tonight is the fact that there haven't been that many flags for illegal pass interference or holding, or what they called so frequently during preseason.
Pass interference, 88 offense, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Now, Tony Gonzalez a year ago complained that he was held 12 times in the game. Now all of a sudden you see. Now, he cannot. See, he's trying to get someplace. Kelly Herndon just holds his position, and Tony Gonzalez throws him out of the way. They're calling it on both sides.
They had a yellow cue card to start the clock.
3rd and 19. They're still confused about what happened right before the halftime. It's a tough job. Frank Green back, good protection, throws it up the middle. Eddie Kennison gets back to about the 32-yard line. A 50-yard field goal coming up, or an attempt. Kelly Herndon on the defense.
What's so disconcerting for an offense is you take the ball over on the other team's 30-yard lines, and you have to throw a pass on 3rd down to just get back into field goal opportunity range for your kicker. I mean, that's a great job by Denver's defense, and Kansas City just can't get anything.
And you're supposed to be the best offense there is, and you have been for the last 2 years. That one's far enough, and that one's good. Lawrence Tynes finally finds his range, and the Chiefs put 3 on the board and trail 17-10.
بمزجها الفريد بين الجاز والبوب تضفي ناتالي كول